Good morning, everyone. On this President's Day, for our country, America, and for all sovereign countries in the world, we pray for the healing of all political, economic, and cultural differences that cause discord and hardship, and that God-directed leaders arise to guide all nations into greater peace, harmony, and freedom for all. The reading today is from an inner teaching, and we don't have a date on it. It's perhaps just a little longer than normal, so settle in. There's so many wonderful concepts here. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Ask and ye shall receive. This is an instruction so frequently overlooked by humanity, for mankind has been passing through a period of evolution where the mind or the mental body was being developed. And while this development was taking place, a tendency crept in for the mind to dominate the being of man. It was never intended for that. And the I became supreme, not the God in man, but the I. The man became very self-sufficient. This is well, so long as we recognize it as a phase of development. But whilst he is in this particular phase of the development of the mental body, man excluded the entrance of the intuition or the spiritual sense. He has the instruction to seek, but to seek for what? For truth. Truth does not enter through the intellect alone, but through the feeling, through the intuition, through that aspect of man sometimes called imagination. The imagination is the creative and intuitive faculty, and as soon as a man can lay aside the domination and isolation of the intellect, he expands his consciousness and becomes aware of the truth. He becomes aware of life, the life of God. He can understand them intellectually, but cannot become aware. There is but one entrance to man's awareness, and this is through the intuition, the feeling, through that condition which comes during quietude, tranquility, serenity of spirit, which comes in the stillness of silence of the mind. In the silence and the stillness of life, as it truly is, man may become aware of that vast universe, the greater part of which is invisible. You look up to the sky at night and you see countless millions of lights. You call them stars and you think you are looking upon a vast universe. But you know nothing of the life which is living, moving, and having its being within that universe. Your physical eye cannot see, nor your physical brain comprehend the vastness of that invisible universe. And yet, if you are learning to enter the stillness within your simple heart, you can begin to understand a little more of what lies in that visible and invisible universe. If you can feel the heartbeat of sympathy, you begin to feel harmony, to see vibrations in the form of color. You become aware of other creatures apart from mankind, apart from the animal world, apart from the vegetable world. Walk into your garden and be still. Withdraw into the temple of silence, if only for a flash. You may become aware of numberless creatures in your garden, little nature spirits, flower fairies, gnomes. Even the very stones are inhabited by etheric folk. Yet in the ordinary way, all you see is the outer form of your pretty flowers. If you stop to think, you will wonder how the flowers are brought into blossom. What brings their perfume? What is it that makes one flower yellow, another pink, and the leaves green? What power lies behind? Behind this nature kingdom are those tiny little beings who are working under the direction and control of an angel on one of the 7 rays. These little creatures work automatically, although they have a certain degree of choice and latitude under the direction of this group angel, and they are busy continually carrying the life force to beautify the form and color of your flowers. Now, exactly the same process takes place in every department of life. Your physical body is being directed in its actions through what you or your psychologist describes as the instinctive mind, or what we have referred to as the automatic mind, the mind which is controlling the functions of your body. Certain functions are continually going on, sleeping and waking, whether you leave your body and whether you are with it or not. These functions of life go on and are directed by the instinctive mind, which is under the control of another great angel being. Whether you will or not, I tell you that angels are in attendance upon you, upon your physical body, from the moment of conception until the moment that the silver cord is cut and you leave the mortal coil for a span to return for refreshment to the heavenly worlds. And when you are refreshed, the order is given that the time is ripe for you to return to the vineyard, and you return via incarnation to do some more work. We would remind you that you are not here in your body to enjoy yourself and only have a good time. You are here to work. You come to labor on the spiritual path. How your labor is your own choice, but you must live always with this thought: I have come to the earth to labor, to serve life, to serve the grand scheme of the evolution of mankind. You are caught up in the vortex of this spiritual life, and whether you will or not, you live and move and have your being in this invisible universe. We endeavor to help you to expand your awareness of those numberless angel beings who are with you in this lodge as you work. Some are assisting you to become more conscious of the glorious powers of God, and others are working the while with the material which you offer them, material which comes from your aspirations and thoughts. We want you to realize that your thoughts are drawn through magnetic vibrations towards other great thought streams, both positive and negative. All positive thought, by this we mean thoughts which are good, uplifting, and constructive, go forth from you, and the law of attraction finds great streams of thoughts which are positive, which are good, which belong to the white light. Thoughts of cruelty are in their turn used to sell the great streams of dark or negative thoughts. Oh, how much cruelty there is in life through thoughtlessness. You are amazed when we tell you that thoughtlessness is a form of cruelty, but it is. Analyze it, and you will discover that thoughtlessness can cause much suffering and is therefore a phase of cruelty. Thoughtfulness brings love, joy, hope, and courage. Your thoughtfulness, whatever form it takes, is a contribution to kindness, to love, and to that great stream of white light upon which humanity is depending for its very existence. And you can contribute by your thoughts to this great sea of white light. And all that you withhold from that white light is robbing humanity of life, of air, if you like. What a responsibility rests upon those who know this truth. Oh, beloved brethren, there is so much that we could say, but we would not tire you tonight. But think of these things and resolutely determined to give the great ocean of life, to give love. Do not contribute to cruelty. When it is put so crudely, it seems a shock. Maybe you have never thought of it in that way before. Never let an opportunity pass. You may be lazy about it sometimes, we all are, but make up your mind you will not consciously let an opportunity pass in which you can give to the white light by giving the right thought, the right emotion, the right feeling towards life and all your brethren. The Great White Lodge consists of 7 rays, 7 colors, 7 grand vibrations, 7 notes, 7 great powers of life, which pervade and permeate the earth and the worlds upon the earth, reaching out to link with the 7 planets round the earth. And you contain within your body the corresponding notes of all these 7 rays. You contain within yourself the whole universe, and in some far-off day you will become center of light, even a God himself. You are the tiniest speck today. Tomorrow you will be a universe. Is life grand and rich? Is it worth every effort you can make to gain mastery over these grand powers within? Yes, I think you will agree. Yes. Do not for one moment think that you can live to yourself or that you are alone. For all around you are these great ones who have passed through similar experiences to your own. Most of you are now ready to be taught out of your physical body during sleep. Much teaching, much speeding up of human development is now taking place. Before you go to sleep at night, give a thought to these things. Do not be so immersed in your physical life that you forget your real destiny. Before falling asleep, send forth a prayer to the great architect of the universe. May I be worthy of the instruction which my elder brethren are prepared to give me. Hold this thought earnestly before sleeping, and make a point of retiring, certainly before midnight. And if you do this, you will be ready and waiting to receive instruction which your master may give you. But he will not wait for you. You must be ready when he calls. Much work is done before midnight in the centers of wisdom on the higher planes. In the quietness, aspire to become aware of the angelic presences all around you. Strive to hear the music of their love and to see the glory of the colors. May your imagination reveal to you the gardens of the Spirit. Yes, here in this lodge you may yet be standing in a garden full with flowers, perfume, music. You may hear the song of the birds and the wind in the trees. Ask, seek, knock, and the door shall be opened unto you, and life will become full of joy and promise. God bless you all. God bless you all.
I think they're working, actually, the mics. They are? Oh, there it is. You seek and you shall find. Exactly, John. Thank you. Well, how lovely to have our little group. Perhaps because our subject is angels. Only the few of us are ready. We'll see. First, I'd like to read just a little from the Gospel of the Essenes, one of their angel prayers. To lift your eyes to heaven when all men's eyes are on the ground is not easy. To worship at the feet of the angels when all men worship only fame and riches is not easy. But the most difficult of all is to think the thoughts of angels, to speak the words of angels, and to do as the angels do. Amen. Gosh, I think the angelic realm has been spoken of, and certainly there are hundreds of illustrations in the Bible about the angels. And we tend to regard them as this wonderful illusion. How much do we actually connect with them? Do we just say, oh, my angel, or thinking of an angel? We don't really connect, and perhaps by the end of this afternoon we can have a go at it. We understand that the angels, particularly who work with us here on earth, come from Venus, the planet of Venus. They come to assist in the form life and in our evolution. They're messengers from God with the attributes, all the attributes of the soul of humans, the soul of the universe, and they're builders of form. And Ken touched a little on in our reading, the builders of form. That's from the tiniest little people who build these beautiful flowers to literally those who build universes. We understand from many streams of thought that the angelic streams of life were designed to work closely with us, two branches of the same family, although different in their evolution. We humans descend from the heart of God consciousness. Now the angelic stream is ascending through the tiniest form life of this planet, and indeed from other planets, but we're only concerned with this planet. So that might be best explained, that they take, yes, the form from the tiniest nature spirit in the flowers and grasses and things which bless and delight our human senses, on upwards to the Davic or angelic forms, which are there over the great oceans, the mountain peaks, right up to the archangel, planetary angels, and on beyond our comprehension. So this David or angelic evolution is a vast sea of life, ideally working in harmony with us, and indeed all the races on the planets, from those tiniest members who make up our genes, and I'm not talking Levi's, genes to the great angels who build our worlds. White Eagle tells us that as the human kingdom stands in relationship to the mineral kingdom, so the angelic stands in relation to the human. A vast difference. Through this kinship or companionship, we're designed to work together for greater illumination. Now we're told at this time in history, the Native Americans call this the closing of the fourth cycle, as we open to the fifth cycle, and we in the Western world would call that the end of the Piscean, going into the Aquarian age. So they draw very close, especially at these times. We take them for granted, don't we? Think for the moment for the unceasing care afforded to us by our own especially assigned guardian angel. Perhaps in working with angels, this is a good place to begin with our guardian angel. We all know intellectually we have a guardian angel. But can you imagine for a moment if you were asked to take on a job and perhaps go care for a person, and you took the job on very happily, and you were there at your assignment, but there was absolutely no contact with the person to whom you were assigned to help. The average person has absolutely no contact, except for the angel who gives love and protection. How often do we actually speak or acknowledge or give thanks to this remarkable and most beautiful being who stands by our side from the moment of birth until the moment of withdrawal from the physical body. All of us can begin to work with our own guardian angel. Perhaps we need to set a time each day, perhaps upon waking, to make a conscious link, opening our hearts in gratitude. Remember, gratitude is always the key that unlocks the heart. It has a way, if you think about it, if you give thanks for anything, it has an automatic opening of the heart. And when we're grousing and feeling rotten, that is a wonderful closing of the heart. So when we give thanks, we can open to all these possibilities. And in the quiet, let gratitude fill our innermost being. This is the magic key, giving thanks. And here, that's like an automatic elevator lifting into our higher self. The heart opens, and the perfect setting is provided to invite in and make contact with our guardian angel. Perhaps we could do it at this moment. Remember, White Eagle says, tranquility of soul is of the utmost importance, for it is only in its tranquil moments that the soul is receptive to the ministry of angels. Let's have a moment of quiet. Just connect, if only to give thanks. And know that this enormous resource is there, untapped. Maybe we can make the difference. Now, there are literally legions of angels waiting to serve us. Angels of every soul attribute of peace, love, power, of earth, air, fire, and water, music, etc., etc., with all their gifts of unconditional loving service, ready to serve, and these are the magic words, if we ask. You know, it is said that there are legions of angels in hospitals waiting to be asked. If there's something wrong in our life, do we go to the angels, or do we just go to an earthly level? If we go to the angels, my goodness, miracles can happen. Let's talk about the angels of healing. The archangel most associated with healing is that of Raphael, who works under the Christ ray, under Jesus, full of compassion, tenderness, and love. Each of us can call upon the angels of healing for our own particular need and for that of others, for our beloved earth planet and all of life. The contact is made if we just take time to be still, just tranquil in soul, and most assuredly we will receive. Even though we may be unaware, and maybe we have a goal in mind that we feel hasn't been met, remember that the solution is working and in its progress because we have made the request. Now, an interesting point, again, from White Eagle, he says, when the angels help to purify and perfect the physical body, they do more than this. They weave into the subtler vehicles, into the actual physical form, forces of light and spiritual power, destined to slowly but surely create and make ready the human form for the next race. So when we receive healing, it's not just for ourselves, it's for all. And this is also very much a reminder how we should honor the human body which has been given to us, the vehicle that has been given us, to feed and to nurture it well, knowing that this is the material which is given to the angels in forming our next physical vehicle for our next incarnation. We provide the building materials, and we can make improvements right now, preparing for the next. And of course, it's not just food, it's not just exercise, it's the thoughts we think, and that is a refining element that goes to work with our bodies. You know, when any of us meet in any true and dedicated spiritual group, it's like using a terminal of the divine computer, which draws to the sufferer angelic help. And we as humans are the bridges to the angels, for ourselves, for others, for the animals, for the Earth planet, our world, and indeed worlds far beyond. Nothing is hurried in the angelic world. We have the unique opportunity to bring our lives into harmony through the conscious cooperation of the angels, who are working with absolute dispassion and obedience to the divine plan. So many have asked, where do these angels come from? We understand that the angels come from the 7 sacred planets. First, the sun. These angels of the sun are most especially concerned with the ushering in of the great ages or epochs. Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Uranus and Saturn make up the remaining 7 within our solar system. Now, above all the angels, and under the great love of the Great Mother aspect of God, serves the great Lord of the angels, the Archangel Michael. His mission is to work with all the angelic beings as supreme leader and director of their work. Archangel Michael has been called a spirit of the sun, a messenger from the Christ sphere, and the sword which we see held high in pictures of him are the sword of spiritual truth. Can you imagine if we as human beings could take this sword of truth in hand out into the world? Spiritual truth, we're reminded, will guide us, guard us through every crisis of life and give us strength to overcome every obstacle. Perhaps some will be familiar with those words attributed to Shakespeare: "To thine own self be true, and it must follow as night the day. Thou cannot be false to any man." Always holding high that sword of truth within. So now, as we come into this great change of age, we're asked to stand up and be counted, to consciously link with the angels. We're given the unprecedented opportunity to move forward, both as individuals and as a group. Are we bystanders who survey the world conditions with dismay, but do nothing to make a conscious link with the angels and work together with them? We understand that when there is an opportunity or a possibility, and these words are from White Eagle, of a push forward in the spiritual evolution of humanity, at that moment the powers that be, or the angels, receive their orders. The Archangel Michael has within his power, all the forces of light, and they come under his command. The forces of light sometimes appear to be forces of darkness. For instance, there is a cleansing. Cleansing is often done by fire, fire being the great purifier. Sometimes the waters flood the earth, and there's purification by water. The Archangel Michael has within his power to send forth his angels to cleanse the earth, because he is the forerunner of the one who prepares the way for the coming to earth of the King of Kings. Cannot we make a concerted effort to take time to link up, add our love, strength, prayers, and goodwill to this great endeavor, to help move humanity upward and homeward? We're given some old-fashioned advice. Be still. Guard our thoughts from negative thinking. Preserve our bodies from dark habits. Hold our tongues so that they may only speak wisdom and love. Speaking with a clear voice, simple wisdom and love, setting a standard of freedom and brotherhood, regardless of what is going on around us. We can set our standard high, whether at an inner or a physical level, upholding the reforms which we see sprouting: abolition of cruelty to animals, cleansing the media of all forms of broadcasting, seeing wrongs and injustices righted. This is what is meant by the vision of St. Michael, riding across the world with his shining sword of truth raised. He prepares the way for this age that is to come. We have this amazing army of light with whom to work, and the opportunities are boundless. I'd like to close with, again, some words from White Eagle, just bringing us into that quiet, introspective moment. So with the power of a tranquil mind and soul, a clear vision can change the world. The more of us who consciously work with the great angels, the greater the speed in which this may be accomplished. We see the angels working with the substance we give them, so that forms of peace and goodwill live amongst humanity until they've served the purpose for which they were created. We find this universal brother-sisterhood, this community of angels and people, is continually being welded together and strengthened. There can be no separation between angels and humanity, for they work side by side. Call upon the angels, and you will know where the key to the gate of heaven is to be found. You will know how to insert that key and unlock the gates. You will be the companions of the angelic brotherhood who are ready to lift the veil and show you the very deepest secrets of nature, of creation, of the life forces in the earth, in the rocks, in the water, in the fire, in the air. See the hosts of angels in the white mists with the golden light of heaven shining through. You will see angel forms, winged beings. The reason they appear to you as winged is because they are sending out currents of heavenly light and power, and these currents go out in the forms of circles, just like a fountain of life and light, life force. This the angels send to you. They send to you, and you can be receptive. Now the great peace be with you all. The great angel of peace is in your midst. The great white wings of love are enfolding you. Peace, peace be with you. The white wings encompass you. Will you remember, beloved, the masters and the angels need you? Do you realize this truth, that as you are fit to be used by the angelic ones, as you receive the light and pass it through to humanity, so you release the angels for more important work? Not one of you, not one channel which is prepared and receptive to the light of Christ is ever left unused. Peace be with you. So let us take this moment of communion, union, by calling upon the angels that fill this temple, to draw close, hand in hand and heart to heart. We approach the great altar of the divine. Where the offer of bread and wine is offered. We may take the bread, absorb it with strength, sustenance, and the wine of spirit, liquid light, liquid love. In the silence, we absorb the gifts of the Spirit with a thankful heart. We are strengthened. We are blessed. and we give thanks. In the name of the Father, Mother, Christ the Son, we give thanks. Amen. Amen. Amen.